Greetings. So here we are. Cue the jackhammer. It's another day in paradise. We've been at this for a while now. I know it's getting harder. I feel it too. There's strength in numbers, right? If we're all on board, if we're all doing the thing, if we're all staying home, we feel like we're part of something. When things start to trickle and flicker and happen away from you, and you see those lights in the distance and those people living their best lives, I understand the FOMO is real. The actual fear of real events is what we should really be talking about. So I know that it's hard for you and your families, and I know that you're itching to get out there, but allow me to take my semi-weekly opportunity to share with you a little bit of distraction action so that you and yours can stay home for just a few minutes more. This week, we are going to be reviewing and reacting to the greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time, Jim Henson's The Christmas Toy. If you know me, you know I'm a huge Jim Henson fan. We have Muppets in our home. I've had two animals named after Jim Henson characters. The first was my cat, Rugby, and that is named after the star of The Christmas Toy, Rugby Tiger. And now I have Ludo. Ludo friend. See the resemblance? Now, I don't really celebrate Christmas anymore. I don't care that much, but The Christmas Toy is still easily my favorite film of all time. There's a lot going for this thing. It has puppets, and
everyone loves puppets. Everyone loves puppets. Everybody loves puppets.
Now, if you sit down and watch it with kids, it's just so great to expose them to entertainment that isn't CGI based. It's a musical. The music is done by real musicians in a studio somewhere, so they'll hear real instruments in the instrumentation of the songs. Yeah, it was the 80s, so there's some synth too, but we don't talk about it. It's under an hour long. Full story arc in less than an hour. Oh my gosh. So there's a lot to love here. This was released in 1986 when I was just a wee baby, but I grew up on it because at that time we had a magical thing called beta cord. For you kids watching at home, let your parents talk to you about beta cord. It was before the VHS, way before DVDs and Laserdiscs, somewhere in there. The problem with beta cord is that after a while, it starts to wear out, just like any cassette or VHS. So we found this online. I think we ordered it from Denmark. I'm so proud to own this. Today you can find this online. I'll post some links of how you can buy or rent it. It was streaming for a while. You can definitely find it. I cannot say enough good things about this. It's puppets and strings, and it's fantastic. And Toy Story is just a big old ripoff of The Christmas Toy. I said it, I'm not the first, I won't be the last, but I'm here to attest. I really want to share it with you. I hope it will bring some joy to your day. And if it doesn't, at least you stayed home for these 2 extra minutes while I rambled on like a lunatic instead of you going outside and acting a fool. But you know what? If we're gonna watch a Christmas film, we need to do this right. Hold please. I got my chocolate milk, I got my stuffed animal, and I got my good jammies. To be fair, they're my partner's jammies, but we're working with what we have. We're gonna play the film. I'll pause it, I'll insert clips where I can because this channel isn't monetized yet, so who the F cares? We'll talk about it. A fun fact, the beginning of the DVD version and also the versions you can find online, they are licensed by Lionsgate Entertainment, which does not own the rights to the Muppets, bought by Disney as intellectual properties in the early 2000s. The original airing of this, which was for television, started with an intro featuring Kermit the Frog, dressed as Santa Claus, comes down the chimney into the playroom where the story takes place. Fun fact, it is the only time you would ever hear anyone refer to the human family in the film as the Jones family. If you didn't see Kermit, you wouldn't know that they were Jamie and Jesse and Molly and Mom and Dad Jones. Or you would because they were a white family in the 80s. So that's gonna be missing when we start this, but it does launch into the very next scene, which is in the playroom.
Am I the Christmas toy? No. Am I the Christmas toy? No. Am I the Christmas toy? No. The Christmas toy.
So Rugby is the tiger. He's the lead character. And the other characters, you see Apple here, Ditz the clown, we'll get into him later, Mew here, and Belmont is the horse's name. It's all up here. It's been 30 years.
You may think it's magic, and we don't. Sometimes when you leave us,
The Little Duck is one of my favorite parts.
we still feel like playing. You'll be feeling tired, but we won't. If we can play with girls and boys,
Then it only makes sense for toys to play with toys.
toys love adventure. Toys can be very brave, like me.
Toys can be so conceited, like he is.
Toys can be pretty funny.
Also, I want to give a big thank you to the Jim Henson Corporation for always really repping the ginger people in positive ways. In this film, you have Apple the doll, Ditz the clown, who's a ginger, Meteora, we'll get to her later, all gingers, okay? How often do you see that many gingers in one story? Besides the Weasleys. Never mind.
Toys can wear pretty clothes. Don't I look excellent?
Toys can be pretty, like she is.
All right, so right there, you're seeing the first similarity to Toy Story, Barbie. She's never called Barbie. They didn't have the rights to Barbie and Mattel's licensing, but it's definitely Barbie. And honestly, it's really amazing because you have to look really closely to see any wires or anything. The set design is really incredible because with Muppets, they always have to design ways to perform with those puppets without being seen. So the sets always had to be designed where they would be standing so the puppeteers and Muppeteers could be comfortable. It's just incredible when they designed a set like this that's a playroom and everything in scale, and there's so many toys in there moving. I think it's wonderful. I'm a simple person. I see Muppets, I click. That little duck, I don't know his name. I don't think they refer to him by name, but if you know me in real life, you've probably heard me say, "People's coming, people's coming," a lot, and have not had a clue from whence that came. Well, there you go. It's from the Christmas toy. The reason that he has to warn them that people are coming is just like in Toy Story. If they are seen out of place, they will be frozen forever. Sound familiar? Now, I went down a big rabbit hole before starting this to try and figure out, was there somebody that was savvy to the old Christmas toy story at Toy Story? The Christmas toy was released in 1986. Production on Toy Story started in 1993. I'm sure development happened somewhere in between there. And so I'm sure in those intervening, 7 years, they knew about the Christmas toy. I couldn't find any direct connections, but I don't think the folks over at Pixar were ignorant to Jim Henson's creations. Just a dog toy casually flipping in the background, more flipping. It's Christmas Eve! Barbie, I'll be ready in a minute. Ditz the clown. Here he is. I have mentioned him twice already. I honestly don't even know if we would be allowed to call him Ditz in 2020. Because it really does seem like Ditz does not understand things that are explained to him. Not for lack of trying, but he just does not process the information the same way people are anticipating for him to. Yeah, looking back, it is a little offensive. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know if they would call him Ditz today. It's Christmas Eve! Well, here's another thing. Topical. Mew is a cat toy. So they just treat him like he's lesser than because he's different. It's a great lesson, right? That we're all the same, we're all toys. This is just the saddest ever. Ditz, spoiler alert, because he didn't understand what they were saying, he wandered out of the playroom and he was caught and frozen forever. And the little talking telephone, she says, "I'm sorry, the number you have dialed is no longer in service." That is just the most devastating sentence to anyone. I think we've all been there. If you've lost someone, it's hard to delete their number from your phone. That seems really final, and it's confirming you can no longer communicate with them. I've definitely done that, and so as an adult, that part is so poignant because you can't reach them, you can't speak to them. Their number is no longer in service, and there's something about that. It's really sad. And when you're a kid, you're just scared of death. You don't understand it. So that part just seems like he died, and it's truly traumatizing. This show really has it all. Original airing was presented by Kraft, the Kraft Corporation, known for such weird scientific marvels as Philadelphia cream cheese. In every ad break, it would go to this disembodied hand creating, and someone made a video of all of those ads, because again, they're not on the DVD, but if you recorded it on your beta cord, you would have gone through those ad breaks every time you watch this. And looking back, they're just so foul. I'll put a little one in right here so you have an idea.
Make this Yuletide apple dip for a hostess gift. Bring out the flavor of chopped apples and onions with delicious Kraft real mayonnaise. Add sour cream and chill. Then slice Lender's Bagels halves, arrange, and wrap for a gift that's always in good taste. Create this festive sandwich tray for giving and start with Velveeta processed cheese spread slices. There's no single cheese like it. Arrange with ham and pepper rings and add a special holiday spread of chopped vegetables and parquet margarine. A beautiful way to give the season's best. Kraft TV special recipes are in TV Guide magazine.
It's mayonnaise and apple. That's the dip. That's it. That's just another little bit of 80s magic. So now we meet a character who is just so Buzz Lightyear could never. And her name is Meteora. So Meteora is a space toy that doesn't think she's a toy and thinks that she is really here to fight for the galaxy.
Interesting vegetation.
Don't do that!
You dare to touch the queen? Inhabitants of many planets have died for less.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, we never heard that storyline before.
You're calling Meteora a liar?
No, I'm calling you a toy.
A toy?
Right, and the best place for a toy is back in her box where she belongs.
Return to that prison? Never!
Prison? Prison? You call that box a prison? Ha!
Even later on, Lotso is very similar, to a mix of like Balthazar and Rugby, and Jessie is a lot like Apple the doll, both set aside and discarded when their girl moved on. I mean, it's all there. This is my moon landing. So more trauma. Mew is frozen. He describes where he went as dark and cold. which sounds great. Can't wait. I became so involved in these characters and the mythology of stuffed animals coming to life that when I was younger at night, I would flick my light switch on and off a set number of times. And that created imaginary carrots to come out of the light fixture, providing sustenance to all of my stuffed animals so that when I was out of the room, they would have nutrition and be able to play together. I'm caring. I'm just crazy. Apple and Belmont, they lead a rescue mission to the living room and they magically get up and down a flight of steps. We don't talk about it. We don't worry about it. And then we all have a big reunion in the playroom. The Christmas anthem. I'm not religious, but I enjoy gathering together with people I love. I think that's normal, no matter what your belief is. And I think now it's something we're all really missing. So it is really sweet to watch this and this particular song, old friends, new friends, friends who have gone away, will be together at Christmas. This year, that might not be true. It's just such a nice thought. If we can focus on that as the goal of being together again with people we love, not, oh, I really want to go to the gym, or I can't wait to go get a picture of margaritas. You know, it's such a sweet sentiment. Well, I have a quote from this book. It's Not Easy Being Green and Other Things to Consider. It's quotes from Jim Henson, The Muppets, and Friends. I really do believe that all of you are at the beginning of a wonderful journey. As you start traveling down that road of life, remember this: there are never enough comfort stops. The places you are going to are never on the map, and once you get the map out, you won't be able to refold it no matter how smart you are. So, forget the map. Roll down the windows, and whenever you can, pull over and have a picnic with a pig. And if you can help it, never fly as cargo. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you can find a little bit of joy, maybe something from your childhood that you can delight in for an hour or less or more. Take that time to appreciate all the good things that you are trying to protect right now, and all of the good things you have, and maybe some of the good things you don't have anymore, and just give thanks to the universe for having had them. If you have a favorite obscure thing that brings you joy, put it in the comments below. It might be fun to have a list of things that we can all use as reference. I guess that's it. Well, thank you.
Well, looks like everything worked out really nicely here. I guess there's only one thing for me to do, which is join in. Old friends, new friends, hoping we'll always be here with each other together on Christmas Day.
Old friends, new friends, friends who have gone away. And you see the mustache? Catnip!